From Belle Chasse High School, Crescent City Sports is proud to bring you Louisiana high school football. Tonight, it's the Battle of Plaquemines Parish as the South Plaquemines Hurricanes head north on Louisiana 23 to face the Belle Chasse Cardinals. Hello, everybody. Ken Berthelot along with Wade Kaiser and Chip and Matt Merritt. And we're here to bring you all of the action in what promises to be a fun game from right here in Belle Chasse. Wade, when these two teams get together, it is truly a battle for the boot. In this case, it's a boot with a couple of white shrimp boots on it, and I love it because this is, as we said in the tease at 6:22, this is where all the great seafood comes from, so you got to have a little shrimp boot that you're playing for in the battle for the boot.
Well, absolutely. That's
threw you a curveball on that.
That's a lot of food right there. I'm thinking Plaquemines Parish tomatoes and oranges and Satsumas, right? But anyway, you're absolutely correct. It's the Battle of Plaquemines Parish, and it's one of the premier football events in the whole New Orleans area. You've got last year's state champion at Division IV, which is South Plaquemines. Those guys, I called their game last year in the Dome, and there's not many of them, but they are mighty, right? And they're playing both ways, both sides of the ball. And then there's, of course, Belle Chasse Cardinals, who are always a perennial district champion in their district and a Division II non-select school playoff team every year, right? So when those two get together for the battle of, as you said, Plaquemines Parish, it's exciting.
Yeah, you better believe it. And look, tonight, a lot of festivities. There's going to be a helicopter flyover and a ball drop. And the principal from Belle Chasse High School is going to try to catch the ball now. Full disclosure here, I understand she's been practicing for about a week as she's been catching balls off the balcony. People have been dropping balls to her off the balcony, and I understand she hasn't dropped one or two. The only difference was there a big fan turning over the balcony because it's coming down out of a helicopter, which is now beginning to hover on top of us. That is a drone. That's not the helicopter. That's a drone up there. But, hey, we're going to have some fun, and we're going to see if the principals can hang tight.
Well, she needs to work on her eye-hand coordination for sure. But anyway, you look at it, a lot of festivities here tonight. It's been a huge a huge day of festivities all through Plaquemines Parish, where the New Orleans Saints and Venture Global hosted a sold-out high school football events in Plaquemines Parish at both schools. They did pep rallies. They did giveaways. They did all types of different events. They had Ricky Jackson and Devery Henderson. You know those names from
absolutely
former New Orleans Saints, Hall of Famers, and Super Bowl champions. Those guys were there to kick off those festivities. So yeah, it's been big down here. They've been building up to a 7:00 kickoff here tonight in Belle Chasse.
And by the way, that is a combination of sponsorship between Venture Capital and the New Orleans Saints with Austin Pacco. They call him Coach AP, and he is the youth manager for football development for Venture Capital, working with the New Orleans Saints on that, and they have done a fantastic job. Right now we'll have our national anthem, followed by the helicopter flyover and ball drop. The Belle Chasse High School Band with our national anthem. Our national anthem by the Belle Chasse High School Band, 84 degrees, no clouds in the sky. Well, maybe just one or two floating by. No chance of rain tonight. This is going to be a beautiful night for high school football. And right now, the Belle Chasse Band will continue to perform as they wait for the helicopter.
Everybody's waiting for the helicopter.
Everybody's waiting for the helicopter tonight. And Captain Mark Sauer of the Plaquemines Parish Sheriff's Office and Belle Chase baseball coach Evan Tajant will be conducting the annual football drop for the Plaquemines Parish Battle of the Boot. This year's football is signed by Saints cornerback number 1, Alante Taylor. And we'd like to thank Sheriff Jerry Turlich of Plaquemines Parish for dispatching Air One in support of the annual Battle of the Boot. It's on its way here, folks. We'll introduce the principals from both schools. Pressure, of course, is on Belle Chase principal Heather Lawson, because she's got to make the catch.
Yeah, she's out there warming up. Look, she's got gloves on.
She is ready, man.
She's ready to go up and high point that ball. Look at her.
Hey, she may have gotten a little coaching from Ricky Jackson and Devery Henderson. And in this case, Devery Henderson's got the better hands, okay?
Well, there you go.
Without a question.
What would even be fun is if they would, drop a bunch of money out of that helicopter and then let everybody at the stands chase after it, right?
Yeah, that's how you get people out of the stands at the end of the game very quickly. So Ms. Heather, pardon me, well, I'll get this out. Ms. Heather Lawson of Belle Chase High School, the principal, and Ms. Trakina Williams of South Plaquemines High School will be here to catch the game ball from Air One. We're hearing Air One, ladies and gentlemen. They're telling them please turn their attention to the south end zone. That's to the left as you look at it, and here comes the helicopter. You see it on the screen. Oh, and the ball comes down, and you can practice all you want, but until I've got those blades pushing a little extra air behind it, it's coming in kind of hot.
That wasn't even close.
You got to get it to the people who were trying to catch it close, right?
That was even close. That ball's uncatchable.
Hey,
right? I mean, that if there was interference called right there, that ball would be uncatchable. Even though they don't have that in high school football, but
that's on baseball coach Evan Tajant. He missed the receiver on that one. We also want to give a shout out to Dr. Shelley Ritz, the Plaquemines Parish Superintendent of Schools. She's from my area. She's from Chalmette and went to Holy Angels.
Here's the color of the color commentary of our ball drop right here. And you can see the helicopter hovering off the ground, and the ball's off marked by at least 15 yards. They're going to want that one over again.
I think with all the practice, the one thing they didn't take into effect was wind direction. The wind coming from the blades of the chopper. That's what happened. So for all the practice of a week, you've got to take wind direction into account. All right, let's talk high school football now. The captains are at the middle of the field, and we are here for the coin toss.
Tonight is the New Orleans Saints High School Under the Lights presented by
Ricky Jackson standing there. He's putting his 2 cents in on the toss.
See him all the way to the right, talking to the white hat. Officials are from the New Orleans Association. Ricky's got the toss. Is it good luck for who gets it?
Looks like South Plaquemines won the toss.
Did they defer or we'll wait for the call? Here it is.
Look like South. I think South Plaquemines won the toss. They deferred. Belle Chase will get the ball for the first half.
And we want to thank Ricky Jackson for his part in that. As we say, he and Devery Henderson from the Lafayette area, LSU, the New Orleans Saints, Super Bowl champions team, all here tonight, and they have taken part in these festivities all day long, as this is the Venture Global and New Orleans Saints high school game of the week. So we're ready for some football right here at Belle Chase. New turf field, new press box, and you see the big Cardinal face right in the middle. The officials huddle and break. That is, again, the New Orleans Officials Association working this game. And we are just about set for some high school football. Both of these teams, great start, 2-0. Both teams undefeated. South Plaquemine defeating Higgins 29-20 and Bogalusa 38-14 against former Cyril Crutchfield, former Plaquemine coach Cyril Crutchfield coaching at Bogalusa. And for Belle Chasse, it's just been a 61-0 win over McMain and a 70-0 win over East Jefferson. So they have rolled 131-0 in their first 2 wins, and they have just been unstoppable. So the question is, who can stop? And can anyone stop these Belle Chasse Cardinals? So Belle Chasse with a low kick picks it up at the 20-yard line, and the Cardinals return it to about the 38-yard line. And that's where we will have it 1st and 10 for the Cardinals, dressed in their black. The Cardinals' colors are red and black.
Yeah, you're talking about Belle Chasse. They've been scoring a ton of points, right? On the other side of the ball, South Plaquemine has only allowed 17 points per game in their past 2 games. So, you know, if things go according to plan here tonight, we should see a pretty good defensive effort by both football teams. Okay. You're going to see a lot of option tonight out of Belle Chasse.
Now, the numbers are a little hard to see for Belle Chasse with the red with red numbers on the black jerseys, but this is an explosive team, and the handoff first goes to Dylan Carter. Carter around the right side, trying to push for a few. And he fights his way back to the line of scrimmage and gets maybe one more. Dylan Carter.
Yeah, Belle Chasse is going to give you a lot of different looks, a lot of different personnel groupings with their offense. You're going to see some traditional stretch game, zone stretch stuff, and then you'll see some triple option stuff also out of Belle Chasse. Amari Ambrose leads them as a rusher coming in with 154 yards on the season already. That's their quarterback, number 8, right there in the gun.
And here's 2nd down, and this time he will keep it, and he does that because he is a two-way threat and can do a lot of things. Helmet comes off as he battles his way to midfield, and that again is Amari Ambrose, the senior.
Well, we've seen why Amari Ambrose is their leading rusher, right? Off the zone read option right there. He keeps it, gets his helmet knocked off. He's going to have to come out for a play, I'm sure. Might see Jackson Jones, their backup, fine sophomore.
Yeah, Amari, when he's in there, a 3-year starter at quarterback. So a lot of experience there.
They're going to tack 15 yards on to South Plaquemine for a flagrant personal foul of face masking.
Wow.
That's going to attack that run. It's going to make it 1st and 10 from the 36-yard line of South Plaque.
Not the way you want to start. And you don't want to give this offense a whole lot of yardage because they're so explosive to begin with. The pitch back. And a lot of running room. Here goes Carter, and Carter is all the way into the end zone.
We got a fumble. He fumbles the ball at about the 3-yard line. Let's see if they call him down at the 3. That's going to be the question here. If not, that ball was fumbled out the back of the end zone, and it would be a touchback. On the lead option, let's take a look at it again, folks. Great blocking out there on perimeter, and you can see Jones getting where he's got to be right there, hitting the seam into the secondary. You see him go down right there. They do not throw the beanbag to the point whereas he fumbled the ball, so they called him down at the 3-yard line, so it'll be 1st and goal for the Cardinals.
Well, that's the kind of explosive offense that we said. You can just see it right there.
Oh, no, it's been overchanged.
Hey, they turned it around. The officials
turned it around.
To talk about it, and he fumbles it into the end zone and out of the end zone. It's a touchback.
Oh, my goodness. No replay, but you got an overrule by one official over the spotting official. You can see the spotting official doesn't throw the beanbag, right? So if it's a fumble, you're going to see a beanbag come out. No beanbag comes out. He spots the ball with his foot. They have a conversation. Things are discussed, and then all of a sudden, it is overturned. And let's see. Oh, my goodness. That's close, folks. That's from our angle, that's real close. We see a knee come down right there, but is the ball coming out as he's coming down? Oh yeah, he's losing the ball.
Yeah, he's losing the ball.
That's a fumble.
Good call.
That is a fumble. That is a great overrule by our white hat out there, making it a fumble and a touchback. The ball is going to come out to the 24 South Plaquemine.
So, again, we're talking here that the New Orleans Officiating Association working this game, and I'm not quite sure what they're talking about right now because that was an excellent call by this crew.
Well, they're discussing it right now. I think now they're making dinner plans. A lot of great places to eat down here in Belle Chasse now.
Oh, man,
I mean, they're not going to overturn the overturn, right? I mean,
correct.
But I think they got the right call on the overturn. We saw it on the slow down instant replay. He was losing that ball on his way down.
Yes. So it was an excellent call. And this will give South Plaquemine their colors blue and gray. So they're in their light blue headgear, white jerseys, and navy pants. Or wearing black tonight on the pants.
It's either that or they're going to be discussing the future tomato crop.
Well, I'll tell you what. A lot of people can claim that they're the seafood capital of the world, but when it comes to catching it, it's Plaquemine and St. Bernard, baby. That's where it's coming from.
Well, Creole tomatoes, I know, come from Becknell Farms down Highway 23, right? And there's nothing better than a fine Becknell tomato out of Plaquemine, Louisiana. I will attest to that.
The Kaiser family will ride down here for some Becknell tomatoes.
There is no doubt about it. I will eat a tomato sandwich every day of the week if I could get my hands on those tomatoes every day. I know they're seasonal. But anyway, I digress, right? Okay, here we go.
Well,
you're going to see a lot of speed out of these guys in white jerseys now. These cats can run. Watching them in the Dome last year in their state championship in which they beat Haynesville 20-7, Roderick Parker had himself a heck of a game. You're looking at him right there. He's the quarterback in the backfield right there.
He's wearing number 1. And 1 and 2 have the right numbers because for this team, they are 1 and 2 offensively.
Yeah, we're talking about Roderick Parker, the quarterback. He's a senior. And Dean Anclad, he's another senior running back, 5'8", 190 pounds. He comes in with 114 yards already on the season. He had a fine game last year as a backup running back for the Hurricane. Uh-oh. What's going on now? They overturned the overturn?
Did they overturn the overturn? That can't be. That was a great call.
Okay.
They did overturn the overturn.
All right,
My goodness.
All right, I've been involved in high school athletics for over 40 years, either as a head coach, an assistant coach, or as a oh my goodness, and they're bringing it back to the previous spot.
Well, that was the spot where after the penalty, the face mask penalty was marked off, the ball was spotted at the 36, so the 36-yard run to the 2-yard line.
What's going to be our down and distance? Is it first and 10? They're going to replay the down. That's what they're doing. They didn't get it right. They're coming back, and they're going to replay the down first and 10.
Oh, my goodness, wow.
It's the first time in 40 years I've seen that.
They don't have replay, but we do, and I can tell you our replay says it was a good call. Look, it says, hey, look what I've got. My goodness, here he goes. Nothing there, little trick there. And that is Amari Ambrose.
Well, they run the same play to the opposite side of the field. They run it to the wide side of the field this time, the lead option. He cuts it back against the grain, and he gets a little seam, and then he's off to the races. Watch how he cuts it back off the lead option here. Whoop, right there. Great blocking by the guys in black jerseys, getting a lot of knock off the ball, and then he just runs through the secondary of the Hurricane.
Wow, Amari Ambrose, a 36-yard touchdown run. That's it.
The extra point is good.
After an overturn of an overturn, and the extra point by Landon LeBlanc is good, and so he's hit his last 11 of 11. And, wow, the overturn of an overturn, folks. Now, remember, the New Orleans officials working this game do not have the replay. We don't have anything down there that they can look at. They don't have that on this broadcast. They don't have replay cameras down there. But our camera showed that it was a good call, a good overturn.
Well, like I said,
not
first
going to
time
matter.
in 41 years that I've ever seen that take place. Well, if this is any indication of what's going to be going on tonight, ladies and gentlemen, hold on to your seats, right?
Yeah, absolutely. My goodness. Yeah, we've not seen one like that, but we have tonight. So there's always a first for everything, and boom, there you see it. So mark that down as a 36-yard touchdown run. Ambrose. Extra point was good. 7-0. Belle Chase. 10:45 to play. And South Plaquemine will finally get it for the very first time.
You're looking at an 8th grader deep, folks. Ian Taylor, and yes, he is an 8th grader. Boy, is that a good-looking 8th grader, right? Standing back there right at about the 5-yard line receiving this kick.
But it's not coming to him. Instead, it is going to Perkins. And
we had a fumble on the play.
Number 3, Kayron Parker with a return fumble.
Kayron Parker was the returner. Watch him get popped right here.
Alario Rodriguez for the Cardinals.
Boom, great hit by Rodriguez, getting his helmet on the ball right there, and the ball pops out. And it's going to knock the ball back a couple yards, and South Plaque will start at their own 23-yard line.
Well, what a crazy start to a high school game.
Okay, getting back to the South Plaquemine offense there, Kenny. You're going to see a lot of speed out of these guys. As I was saying, Roderick Parker, number 1, the quarterback, Dean Ankalad, the running back, number 2, and you're going to see a host of wide receivers out there, including the 8th grader that was deep for the kickoff, Ian Taylor.
Look, they have a 37-man roster. 8 8th graders play 2 start. One of them is just a young man we started. The other is the kicker and punter and returner. So they're going to do nothing fancy, just try to go over the left side, get a little bit out of that, and it's Roderick Parker, the quarterback, on the run.
Well, Roderick Parker comes in as their leading rusher, comes in with 532 yards on 43 attempts, right? 7 touchdowns. 141 yards on 17 attempts, 1 touchdown. He's the guy that is going to spark the offense. They like to spread the ball around when they throw it to the other wide receivers. Kamon Perkins, Ahmad Lewis, and as I've already said, the 8th grader Ian Taylor.
Parker at quarterback, number 1, is a 5th-year starting quarterback. He started as an 8th grader. Little jump. That's offside by Kamon Perkins.
Hold on, we've got the wrong indication here. Looks like they're calling an offsides against Belle Chase, even though the wide receiver also moved early. So apparently Belle Chase must have lined up in the neutral zone prior to the wide receiver leaving early on the pre-snap infraction. Oh, there it was right there. You can see it. It was number 58, Glenn Davis, getting into that neutral zone first. South Plaquemine was very lucky right there.
Well, defensively, we talked a little bit offensively about Roderick Parker and Dean Ankalad. But watch number 91, Savion Bartholomew. He's a guy that's all over the field. He plays both ways. Here's the toss outside. It is caught by Ahmad Lewis.
Well, we got a good look right there of Savion Bartholomew. He was the guy applying the pressure to Roderick Parker, who got the ball out quickly. You can see number 91 at the top of your screen, folks, just using a bull rush right there, getting his big paw up in the air to try to get into the face of Parker. The ball gets out nicely, but he's applying a lot of pressure, and we're going to see him all night tonight in the backfield. Look, this Belle Chase defense has thrown 2 shutouts already, right? They've got to be doing something right.
Well, they are. They put a lot of pressure on people, and talk about doing something right. Watch when South Plaquemine throws the ball tonight. Last week, East Jefferson did not complete a pass against this Belle Chase defense, and that says a lot.
Looks like we got a timeout. I'm not sure exactly who called the timeout. It looks like South Plaquemine, I think, used their first timeout, Ken.
So with that timeout, that gives us the opportunity to thank Lamarck Ford for sponsoring tonight's coverage on Crescent City Sports. First quarter brought to you by Lamarck Ford Automotive Complex in Kenner. Lamarck Quick Lane Services, all makes and models, batteries, tires, oil changes, and more, all done quickly while you enjoy some complimentary popcorn. Must be a reason, says Ronnie Lamarck. And there is, because he's a Lamarck and they run a first-class auto dealership. Give them a try.
Getting back to this Belle Chase defense, as we've said, they've pitched 2 shutouts, right? It's because they put the pressure on people up front, and it's guys like Savion Bartholomew, 6'3", 290 pounds. He's being recruited by a ton of people. You can see him there at the top of your screen. These guys run well, too, especially at the linebacker position, and they do a great job in coverage. You're going to see a lot of one-high type of coverage out of them where they're going to play 3-deep coverage. You might see them jump into a 2-high coverage also.
From their own 35, and this is a keeper, but this time Parker slips down, and he'll lose a yard or 2 on the play. This is a turf field, and it's in, you and I looked at it downstairs, in pretty good shape.
Yeah, it's in excellent shape. It's a beautiful field. It's a beautiful facility. Talking to some of the folks here tonight at Belle Chase. Soon Belle Chase will be building a new high school, right? And so they're going to be building also a whole new athletic facility for their junior high and their high school. It's proposed within the next couple of years. And I asked them, I said, what's wrong with this facility? It's a beautiful athletic facility, beautiful field here in Belle Chase for the Cardinals.
Second down. And nowhere. And again, you're seeing just the defense swarming, just absolutely swarming. That time, Savion Bartholomew, we just talked about him. He's a Texas State commit, but still has offers coming in from other schools trying to change his mind.
Well, in today's world, to these young guys, one commit doesn't really much mean anything. They commit to make sure they got that foot in the door, right? The whole landscape has changed with the portal and everything else that's going on. He'll have a lot more offers as he continues on through his senior season, right?
And as we talk about him, it's 91 in black. That's Savion Bartholomew. Here's the big third down. They need some bunch. And, boy, just the rush is on. Ball is on the ground. It's kicked around. It's loose. No signal from the officials yet. Let's see who jumps on it. It's going to be recovered by South Plaquemines. And jumping on that ball and saving it was Hillary Thomas, the offensive lineman. Left tackle.
Watch Bartholomew at the top of the screen. He gets there first and rakes the ball out of Parker's hand. Ball's on the ground. Everything with the pressure there and the ball getting put on the ground was by Savion Bartholomew. And quickly getting on that ball was the left tackle for South Plaquemines, Hillary Thomas, being smart and finding the ball and giving them the opportunity to save the down.
So now you're backed up as South Plaquemines struggling. They're moving in the wrong direction here. Now, remember, you've got a 4A team in Belle Chase playing a 2A team in South Plaquemines, but these two teams have played tight ball games. They have done a good job battling with each other through the years. This is 4th down. So we're ready to punt that ball away. Ball's low, and it's blocked. Somebody got a hand on it, knocked it down, and it's recovered at the 5-yard line by Belle Chase. So
Ken, I don't think it was blocked. It hits him in his hands, and the pressure's there. Watch, he just bobbles the ball, and he drops it. I don't even think he got his foot up and onto the ball.
Yeah, I thought the rusher got a hand on it after, but he really didn't get the ball. But I think the rusher just knocked it away.
And anyway you look at it, the Cardinals are going to be set up at their own, at the South Plaquemines 10-yard line, 9-yard line.
Yeah, we can call that more of a muffed punt. And right now, South Plaquemines just doesn't look like they can get started. Looks like they're totally out of sync here. And again, from the 9 here, look at this. Get that ball quickly to Carter.
Number 10, Dylan Carter.
Dylan Carter on the run, the senior.
Stop by number 1, Roderick Parker.
Not only is he a good runner, he's fast. He runs a 4.48 40.
That's faster than you, buddy.
That's faster than a lot of people.
Roderick Parker does a great job from his corner position playing off the block and making the tackle right there on Carter. Nice job, Roderick Parker. He's a senior, 5'7", 188 pounds. He's got dome experience from last year. Called his name a few times in that state championship game with Haynesville.
Yeah, this will be the hydration break at the 6-minute mark of the first quarter, with Belle Chase leading at 7-0 and threatening as South Plaquemines just has not been able to get anything going. And just part of that is that big 91 we've been telling you about, and that is Savion Bartholomew. He's just disrupted everything. And they're going to have to just try to find a way to move the ball away from him and get something going on their third possession with the football. So for South Plaque, it just hasn't worked well.
They've got to keep the ball off the ground, too, Kenny. I mean, they've put it on the ground how many times? 4 already? They've recovered a couple of their own fumbles, but, I mean, you know, they just can't get the engine running.
Yeah. Well, there you see Amari Ambrose. And he'll hand it off. And this time it's Kai Wallace into the end zone.
Number 9, Kai Wallace, touchdown.
Touchdown, Belle Chasse.
Well, look at the offensive line for Belle Chasse, the guys in black up front. Those guys blow open a hole right here on the counter play. Bang, kick, seal. When the backside seal gets into the hole like that untouched, the running back is going to get into the hole untouched, and he'll probably end up at the second level. That's how big that hole was, made by the backside guard and tackle from Belle Chasse.
Yeah.
Got a timeout, Belle Chasse.
Timeout, Cardinals.
Not sure why on this extra point, but they did call it. So Coach Stephen Meyer will call his team over.
Well,
as right now with 5:55 to go in the first, Belle Chasse up by 2 touchdowns with the extra point yet to come.
You know, again, it's not so much, you know, Belle Chasse is operating at a high efficiency here. It's what South Plaquemines is doing. They're putting the ball on the ground, and that becomes an issue, and that becomes a problem, right? When you're putting the ball on the ground like that, you're not going to be able to operate. Now they're having some sort of discussion out on the field in regards. I don't know. Stephen Myers is having a very intense conversation with the white hat. I think there's a lot of intensity going on right now that leads all the way back to the overrule of the overrule, right? I mean, that kind of set the tone for the officials.
Well, the only ones you feel bad for on that is South Plaquemines, because our replay that we could see that the officials could not was that it was their first overrule was a great call.
Right. Well, and I think that has set up the intensity level of Stephen Myers a little bit, the 12-year coach from Belle Chasse. You know, he comes in with a great record, 76-47 on his career down here at Belle Chasse, right? And he's a little intense right now because of the way things have been handled by the offense or by the officiating crew. Look, I wouldn't be any different, and I understand exactly where he's coming from.
And as you look at the Belle Chasse sideline, you don't have a shot of Stephen Meyer right here, but started his coaching career. He's been 12 seasons here, 37th overall. He was a student at LSU and started doing some coaching as an assistant coach at 19 years old. And just fell in love with it and decided he was going to be a coach. And when he graduated, went into it full time and just took it the rest of the way. And he has found a home here. They love it. He and his wife Julie love it here at Belle Chasse, and they're as happy as can be.
Well, absolutely, and he's a fine coach. He does a great job with these young men, and they're perennial playoff team every year. If they're not winning the district, they're pretty much the runner-up of it, and they're in the playoffs every year. South Plaquemines got to get something going here. They've got to be able to pop one, get something happening, throw the football, get some sort of completion, keep the ball off the ground and in their hands, and move those sticks a little bit.
I'm trying to see did he call for a fair catch and then take off? He was over toward the sideline. I don't think he was out of bounds. We're watching this off the monitor. The field is very dark. We don't have a good view from this press box. This is a beautiful press box. It's brand new. But between the smoked glass and the screen on the outside, we're totally counting on this monitor. So we're kind of seeing what you're seeing and bringing it to you, folks.
Well, I believe he fair caught the ball, took off, but it's blown dead. It comes back to the spot where the fair catch was caught. And here we go, empty formation.
Let's see if South Plaquemine can finally get something going. Roderick Parker is your quarterback. Made that fair catch at the 15-yard line. So from the 15, pressure coming. Parker will scramble. Cuts back. Nice cut, but boy, cut off quickly because the pursuit was there, and he's going to lose 5 on that. Back as Reuben Jackson was there.
Well, they did a nice job containing him. A 3-man rush right there. Look at big Savion Bartholomew just kind of keeping him in cage and keeping control and not letting him get outside of him, right? Making sure he sets the edge right there. That's what Roderick Parker does well. You know, he keeps the play alive, but right there he ran right into the arms of Logan Jackson. Great coverage by that Belle Chasse secondary to make sure nothing in a white jersey was open.
Logan Jackson, just one of a very good defensive front for this team. Parker in trouble, just gets it off in time, and it's incomplete. Thrown to a well-covered receiver that time. You can see the pressure that this Belle Chasse defense is putting on.
Right. I mean, number one, it's starting with the pressure, and that was a 3-man rush again, right? Ahmad Lewis was the intended receiver, and not a very smart throw there by Parker. He just throws it up in the air into a whole group of black jerseys. He's lucky that wasn't picked off. You know, you got to be smarter with that. If you know there's nothing there, you can't see it. All you see is black jerseys out there. You need to do something about throwing that football away.
Well, here's 3rd down and 15. They're going to throw it long, see if they can make something happen here. But this time, Parker overthrows everybody, incomplete. And South Plaquemine finding themselves having to punt the ball away again.
Overthrew any intended receiver by about 10 yards. Look, Roderick Parker's got a strong arm, right? But that's just completely off target. You had a post-rail combination at the bottom, and you had a post-rail combination at the top. He's trying to aim for one of those posts down the middle of the center, down the center of the field. Free safety does a nice job that time for Belle Chasse, staying on top of both of the post routes. Balls wide by 10 yards.
Dean Oncolade, two-way player, and in this case a three-way player because he's your punter also, will be standing right at his goal line to punt the ball. Now remember, they had the low snap and the muffed punt last time. He never really got the punt off. It was slapped away, so we're going to have timeout with 4:48 to play in the first.
It's a timeout, Plaquemine. South Plaquemine, they used their second timeout.
And as you look at South Plaquemine, right there, used them early here in the first quarter. This is the defending state champions in Division IV non-select. Cyril Crutchfield led South Plaquemine to back-to-back state championships in 2007, 2008. Got them to the 2009 game. They didn't win it. Then later he moved on. Lyle Feet, the coach today for South Plaquemine, was a player on those championship teams. He came back, took over the program in 2017. He had gone to Louisiana Tech after his career at South Plaquemine.
Well, I remember watching Lyle Feet play in high school. He was a great football player down there in South Plaquemine.
And look, he took over. First 3 years, he won 9 games. Then COVID hit. 2023, he finally won 9-1. This one, low snap again. Oncolate's trying to save it, and he tries to get it off his foot, goes nowhere, and boom, in the end zone, recovered, touchdown. Belle Chasse.
Well, he drops it, it gets blocked, it gets picked up at the 1 yard line, and it gets advanced into the end zone for the touchdown. There's the drop.
He drops it there. He's going to try to punt it, and he couldn't even get the ball off.
Looks like the ball was picked up by.
And we're looking for it.
Really can't tell. I think that was number 2 for Belle Chasse. Hank Sauer.
We think. We're not sure. We'll try to look at it again on replay, but in that crowd, we couldn't see it, folks. We'll try to give it to you one more time. Here's the replay.
It is Hank Sauer.
Yeah, it is Hank Sauer with that one.
Boy, I tell you why, that bounces right into his hands, and all he does is fall forward into the red end zone of the Cardinals, and Cardinals are up 21-0.
Wow. 21-0 here in the first. And South Plaquemine just seems a little off, and I realize that has to do with this storming Belle Chasse defense. But they just don't look in sync tonight for this ball game at all.
I mean, the defense has something to do with it, but how many times have they dropped the ball? They've dropped the ball by the punter twice, right? Offensively, they keep putting the ball on the ground. They've done that already 4 times tonight. 2 of them have been recovered by Belle Chasse. So they're just their cylinders are missing, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's the bottom line. Their cylinders are missing.
I know you can chuckle at this, but it's almost like poor Dean Oncolet's having, from the punting spot, a triple biorhythmic low.
Right. It's
biorhythms are a little off.
This can get out of hand real quick here unless they do something here on this series. They need to get a first down. They need to do something positive to give them some sort of push, some sort of momentum, something positive that they can hang their hat on.
21-0 Belle Chasse. We're in the first quarter. And let's see if South Plaque can maybe get something going here. Pulled in at the 25 and returned to 10 yards to the 35. And that, I believe, was Dean Oncolate on the return, or was that Cayman Perkins? Perkins.
Stop by number 20, Cooper Fauché.
So South Plaquemines right now, if you're the coach, what do you tell them, Wade? Because you fall down 21, nothing's working right. Let's just go play football and have fun.
No. I mean, number one, you need to get them to understand they've got to stop giving the gift away. Right? Let's get back to what we're supposed to be doing fundamentally wise, and let's execute fundamentals like this.
Nothing fancy, just let's start running the football, and they're going to try things like that, and it worked.
Well, that's just quarterback ISO, right? And they put the ball in the hands of Roderick Parker. He's their guy that got him to the dome last year.
He's going to run behind Zachary Bartholomew.
There you go. I mean, he does a nice job picking up 6 yards. Nicely done. They spread them out into an empty formation. They move a lot of jerseys out of the box. They run against a 5-man box. That's what they do. So what do I tell them? Let's get back to the basic fundamentals of what we do best. That's spreading the defense, getting the ball into Roderick Parker's and Dean Oncolet's hands, and let's run the football.
This time in an empty backfield again, and boy, the rush comes, and Parker has nowhere to go, and he's dropped back at the 34-yard line. And guess who? Number 91, folks. You better believe it, Savion Bartholomew.
It's just a total mismatch out there. He's matched out there on the edge against Hillary Thomas. He's a senior, 5'10", 205-pound left tackle, and it isn't pretty, right? I mean, he's struggling against this guy that's going to, be a Division I football player, and they can't slow him down.
Yeah. No, there you go. They're going to go empty backfield. You just got to get away from him quickly. Parker will try to drop back. He's going to run in that direction, and he is caught from behind and dropped. And again, it's, guess who? Savion Bartholomew. You can't run in that direction with that big guy right there because he's just feeling it tonight, and he gets that tackle for loss.
All right, then the next thing I'm going to do if I'm South Plaquemine, I've got to have some sort of protection where I can sprint out away from him. I can turn the protection. Use turn protection, block everything away, make him have to chase me. If I want to throw the ball, I am going to roll out to my right away from the left where 91 is lined up, right? I'm going to use a turn protection and try to execute a throwing game that way.
Well, they got the punt off very quickly this time, and they were able to get it off. Snap was just a little bit low, but they were able to get it off, and it'll go all the way out to the 49-yard line. So officially, it'll be a 19-yard punt, but it gets South Plaquemine out of there into the field and out toward midfield. And let's see if the South Plaque defense might be able to do something here.
Well, I mean, Belle Chasse now starts at about midfield, right? I mean, I mean, they've started their other 2 drives inside the 10-yard line. So, I mean, for the past 2 scores, or 2 out of the last 3 scores, right? So, here we go. This is a positive for South Plaquemine. Now they're going to have to play some defense. They got to make them earn their yards. In other words, let's don't give up the cheap big play.
So at their own 49, so make that a 21-yard punt. A quick toss, wide open, but overthrowing the intended receiver at that time. And wow, the intended receiver was wide open. It was pretended for.
I think it was Hank Sauer, the tight end. Well, if you're going to play man coverage, Ken, you got to cover all the intended receivers. They covered everybody except Hank Sauer. Hank Sauer was running down the seam wide open. Ball was just over his head. That's the thing about man coverage. I got you. You got him. We got everybody covered.
Flip this time, a fumble in the backfield. South Plaquemine may have it. Let's see, scramble for it. And Belle Chasse is able to hang on to that football. Dylan Carter won the scramble for it down low.
We've seen this play before. It's the lead option. This time they pitch the ball. He takes his eyes off the ball, hits him right in the hands, right? He just kind of looks up at the last second. He sees those white jerseys coming off the edge to set the edge out there. I guarantee he just looked up a second. He drops the ball. Mm-hmm. This is unfamiliar territory. They're behind the sticks. We haven't seen Belle Chasse tonight behind the sticks.
Lost 3 yards on that. So here they go again. And they just made that and a lot more and picked up the first down going down the other way as the Cardinals with a big run. That time no more than Amari Ambrose, showing why he's such a good quarterback and a runner.
Well, Amari Ambrose is the guy that when they need something to pop, he's going to keep the ball on some sort of quarterback draw, zone read. He'll hold the ball on the option. As we said, they run a lot of different types of options. We've seen lead option already tonight. He's the guy that's explosive in that backfield.
First and 10 at the 37-yard line of South Plaque. Belle Chasse driving with a 3-touchdown lead. This is Dylan Carter bouncing off a tackle on the right side, slipping by another and a third, but finally wraps him up and throws him out of bounds inside the 10-yard line.
We've seen this play before. It's the counter. He bounces it outside. Talking about Carter. Watch him truck. Come on, Perkins out here on the edge. Perkins comes up to lay the hit. Carter trucks him.
Wow.
They're in business inside the 10-yard line. Talking about the Belle Chasse Cardinals.
My goodness. A 30-yard gain that time. First and goal.
See if they get the play off before the quarter.
And the battle for the boot. See if they want to or they just want to wait it out. No, they're going to take it. And a little scoop to the outside, and there you just see some speed and some quick movements. And Dylan Carter in for the touchdown.
Number 10, Dylan Carter around the left side.
7-yard touchdown run by Dylan Carter.
Now, to look at it right here, they pull the backside guard on the sweep. It's bottled up inside. He bounces it out. He shows his athleticism, right? Good running back, showing his athleticism. If my hole is clogged up, I'm going to keep my feet moving. I'm going to make a little jump cut right there, bounce it to the outside. He gets out there on the edge. Nobody sets it for the Hurricanes. He walks into the end zone for another TD for the Belle Chasse Cardinals.
Wow.
And the extra point is good.
27-0. The extra point kicked up and good by Belle Chasse kicker Landon LeBlanc. Makes it 28-0 with 3 seconds left in the first quarter.
Again, South Plaquemine's got to get something positive going. They had a little something going in that last defensive series. Little something going in the last offensive series. They just couldn't sustain it. They've got to sustain something or this thing's going to get ugly real fast.
Yes, and they're going to have to do that, as you said, by trying to kick away or run away, sprint away, roll out away from Big 91. Wherever 91's at, go the opposite way. Savion Bartholomew.
Look, you can't live with one protection, right? Okay. So when that one protection doesn't work, you've got to use other protections. So you've got to have some sort of sprint out protection, what is called a turn back protection. They need to turn back on 91 and make him run the picket fence backside and sprint away from him, because obviously you cannot roll out to his side and you can't sit in the pocket because this guy is destroying everything in his path.
Right.
So you got to do something to get away from 91 when you need to throw the ball, and that's roll out, sprint away from 91. Now, that's just me talking. I don't know if they're going to end up doing that or not. We'll see. That's what I would do.
This one deep and dropped, and again, that's just been that describes right there the kind of night that South Plaquemines has had, but picked up and at least gotten back out to the 11 or 12 yard line. Let's see where they mark it.
Number 8, Ian Taylor with a return.
That was number 8, Ian Taylor. He is an 8th grader, folks.
One of the 8th graders.
Yes.
One of the 8 8th graders on this team. And he starts, as does the punter and place kicker, Ulysses Ramirez, but we have not seen Ramirez. He has not done any of the punting. That punting has gone to Dean Ankelade.
Well, Kenny, I was down on the field looking at this 8th grader before the game, talking about Ian Taylor. He does not look like an 8th grader. He doesn't have the body and the build of an 8th grader. He looks like a well-developed junior in high school. He's a nice-looking young man, and I asked some of the South Plaquemines coaches, is he a true coach? He's a true 8th grader. That's what they told me. They said, Coach, he is a true 8th grader. He is going to be something in 5 years from now.
Wow. Our second quarter. Tonight's coverage on Crescent City Sports is brought to you by the Oxner Andrews Sports Medicine Institute. Don't let a sports injury keep you sidelined. Our team offers health care for athletes with same-day appointments available near you. Visit oxner.org/sportsmed to learn more. Again, tonight's coverage on Crescent City Sports, our second quarter, brought to you by Oxner Andrews Sports Medicine Institute. By the way, that really is a good idea. You don't have to be a professional athlete or an athlete playing anywhere. If you're just a runner, need the help, man, don't let any injury keep you sidelined. Make sure that you
I need help getting out of bed in the morning.
Appointment.
I mean, can they help me with that? Just getting out of bed in the morning, everything on my body hurts.
Oxner.org/sportsmed to learn more. Wade Kaiser, that's how you do it.
There you go. Maybe I need to go and they can give me some exercises just to get out of bed in the morning.
We start the second quarter. South Plaquemines deep in their own territory, in trouble, and he escapes and goes down at the 5-yard line. That'll be a loss of a few.
Number 8, Ian Taylor.
And that's Ian Taylor, the 8th grader.
Yeah, well, little pressure was put on there on the edge, setting the edge that time by Luke Balestra, linebacker. You can see him wrapping him up and just can't hold on to him as he comes down, and he gets up a little bit limpy, holding his shoulder. But again, offense is going backwards and not forwards, right?
And that's what I was about to say. This drive started, at about the 8 or 9, and then now they're back to the 6.
Kenny, they got to go forward.
Yeah.
If you're going to run the football, let's run at them, run forward at them. Let's don't go side to side because these guys in black can chase you down.
Walker from his end zone. This time he gets a lot of time, got good protection, throws it in. He's got his man past midfield into Belle Chase territory. Very nicely done. Ian Taylor again. Call on that 8th grader when you need a big play.
Well, you know what they did is they chopped Savion Bartholomew. Watch right here.
3 of them.
That's an illegal block. That should have been called. You cannot high set in high school and then drop double move. That should have been called by the line judge or the white hat had he seen that. If they would look back at this right now, they'd see an illegal block by the left tackle, number 54, Hillary Thomas. But in Hillary Thomas's defense, that's about the only way you're going to slow the guy down.
Yeah, well,
you
it worked.
Right. Well, you can't even that move anymore. You can't do it at any level of football because of the injury that it can cause to the knees.
Hey, a 54-yard gain to Ian Taylor.
And that's what they're upset. Look at the boundary right now. The white hat is getting an earful from Stephen Meyer, and I don't blame him. I do not blame him. I don't think that's Stephen Myers. That's the offensive coordinator That is Wesley Meyer right there. I mean, he's talking about the double chop block. You can lose a player like that for his career. There's a reason why that rule was put in order to keep people safe. And great job by our film crew. They caught it you could see it on the replay. You had a double move by the left tackle and then drop down and cut Savion Bartholomew. I would be ablaze right now.
And he is.
And he is.
As you said, both Stephen Meyer and his coordinator, Wesley Meyer, yeah, they were. But that's not going to change either. Belle Chasse definitely got the advantage of a call. Remember back the overturn of the overturn.
Right. Well, let's talk about the positive thing that came out of the play. Roderick Parker put the ball out there for the 8th grader, Ian Taylor, on the post route, and he pulls it in. And now finally, positively here, the guys in the white jerseys have something going. They've moved the ball. They moved the sticks. That's got to give them a little bit of courage here as they have the ball in Cardinal territory.
At the 40-yard line of Belle Chasse after the big 54-yard gain. Roderick Parker this time sends Raphael in motion. He's chased, he throws, it is bobbled. Hot Potato comes down to not the player who was bobbling it, but comes down to
Number 7, Gavin Barganier with the interception.
Gavin Barganier.
Gavin Barganier comes up with the bobbled ball. They sprint away from Savion Bartholomew. That's the right thing to do, but the ball is off target. It gets tipped right there, and who does it get tipped to? It gets tipped to Gavin Barganier as he bobbles it and comes up with an interception for that young man. He's excited about that, I'm sure. I'm sure his parents are excited looking at that. They're going to take a look back tonight on the replay and take a look at his interception. So Belle Chasse is in business again. Where? Inside South Plaquemine territory.
You've had the muffed punt and the one that was knocked down, call it a block if you'd like, and then now the interception. And right now South Plaquemine just can't do anything right. From the 42-yard line, here's a wide open guess who? Savion Bartholomew. Savion Bartholomew as a tight end. Yes, I can do this too, folks. Just throw it to me and watch me go.
I love the call. Let's take a shot right after the turnover. They line up Barkley right there, Savion Bartholomew right there at the tight end position or at the Y position, and he just runs a nice little seam route. We've seen that already tonight. They have not covered the seam route, talking about South Plaquemine. When you're playing man coverage, 0 across the board, you've got to have every receiver covered up. Somebody forgot to cover the Y, and it results in a touchdown to Savion Bartholomew.
Wow, one play.
And the extra point is good.
And there she goes, and the extra point is good. Wow, that's, if we can see it, that was one we would really like to see again. And just watch this big guy move. He is so much fun. 6'3", 290, a senior. He committed to the first school that offered him, which was Texas State, but he's got UL Troy. We understand Tulane's has had an eye on him and has an interest. But that is really something to see and something very special. With 10:45 to go, this one's 35-0 Belle Chasse, and we are in the second quarter, not second half. So it's been all Belle Chasse.
Well, a lot of this.
Can't see that one again. Yeah, here we go. Watch.
He kind of gets out of your picture and he slips right behind the coverage. Wow. I don't know if number 20 for South Plaquemine was supposed to be on the coverage. That was Sabrin Bartholomew. If big number 91, Bartholomew, ran past Bartholomew. Right?
There you go.
We got to make sure we've got the Bartholomews and the Bartholomews correct from here in the parish, right? Number 20, Sabrin Bartholomew, was supposedly on that coverage there, and you saw in the big number 91 from his tight end position, Savion Bartholomew, just run a seam route right past him. The ball was laid out perfectly for the pitch and catch by Amari Ambrose.
Well, again, the kickoff is dropped, but this time South Plaquemine from the 15-yard line's got a return on it and finally pulled down from behind. That time, nice return. That was Sabrin Bartholomew on the return. Flag is down.
Sabrin Bartholomew with the return.
So Bartholomew.
Big block in the back right there at about the 30-yard line, right at the numbers. That's going to come back. That's what they're talking about right now.
Wow, that was a 27-yard return that was wiped out and going to come back when South Plaquemines just needs some yardage and needs something good to happen to them in this first half.
Number 16, Jason Meyer.
Looks like we had a face mask. It looks like it was a. I couldn't really tell from the signals from our white hat there. They were so fast and quick. It looked like it was.
I'll tell you what it looked like to me while you're trying to figure it out. It looked like he was giving hand signals to the helicopter to come on in and drop another football. But I thought I knew signals, but I'm not sure what any of that was.
I thought it was telling the steal for second base, right? I don't know. They're going to re-kick the ball, and any way you look at it here. So offsetting penalties, replay the down is what I'm guessing we had here.
And the good news is from that white hat, he gave the signal so good the helicopter has landed. I don't know what that was, folks.
So
but it's
my guess is we have offsetting penalties. Can't tell what exactly they were. I would say one was a block in the back. I saw the block in the back. Maybe he had a face mask for another. So if they were offsetting, they're going to go back, re-kick the football again, replay the down. That's my best guess.
And I think you hit it. I think you hit it right on the nose. So here we go. South Plaquemines, as we said before, a 2A school. They've got a 37-man roster, 8 freshmen on it, 2C, a lot of playing time. This one comes down to the 15 again, so just the opposite side of the field. We almost got the same return. The last one went to the 42-yard line, and this return comes out to the 40-yard line, and that was Cayman Perkins.
Cayman Perkins does a nice job catching that ball. At least the ball got caught and didn't go down to the turf, right? First of all, catch the ball and let's get out the gate. He has a nice return for Plaquemines. They're actually starting pretty decent. Oh, we had a flag. Never mind. We didn't even see the flag.
Didn't see that flag.
It looks like some sort of, I would say, block in the back or a holding penalty against the Hurricanes. It's going to bring it back to the 20-yard line.
Wow.
Well, I was fixing to say they were starting off with pretty good field position, but now they're back to the 20-yard line. And
first and 10 from their own 20.
Well, that wiped out again a 27, the 42-yard line. That wiped out a 27-yard return and moves them back. Instead of being at the 42, moves them all the way back to the 30-yard line, their own 30-yard line. So the South Plaquemines Hurricanes start, pardon me, I said 30, at the 20-yard line. So they're starting at their own 20, and nothing doing as they try the left side. This time on the run, Josh Bartholomew, the senior.
Well, I'm not even going to tell you who made the tackle, right? He just destroyed everything on the left side of their offensive line and just.
You get a good look at him right here.
Brought him down for a 1-yard gain.
Yeah, number 91 again. Last year, 12 tackles for loss, 7 sacks.
Look,
he's all over the field. Been all district. Look, 4-year starter on defense.
I'm going to put it simple. He's a man amongst boys out there right now.
He really is.
He's just ragdolling anything in a white jersey.
6'3", 290, and I'm not sure if they're trying to make him look smaller than he is. He might be a little bit more than that when you look at him up close. That was intended for an incomplete. Ahmad Lewis trying for it on the far side.
They need to hope he gets tired, right? That time they put 2 people to block him. The back they've gone to a 2-back formation. Well, we got a flag out. Is that a flag? No. They've gone to a 2-back formation, so they've taken the second back and they're putting it to his side, so that way they can chip on him with the tackle to try to slow him down. Now they've gone back to 1 back or 10 personnel grouping. So now he's locked one-on-one with Hillary Thomas.
So let's see if Hillary can handle that. This time Parker runs away from him to get away and then does a little spin out to the 25-yard line. That'll be a gain of 4, way short of the first down.
We see technically right there.
Fourth down.
Technically right there, he took the inside charge, and he should not. He should have been setting the edge from his 5 technique position out there on the edge. He got high, he got to quarterback level, and he ducked under inside. So that's something he needs to be coached on. He ducks inside, that's what's going to happen. That's when Roderick Parker will bounce out to his outside onto his right shoulder. And then that's when Parker can be off to the races. So that's something he's going to have to learn how to handle. It looks good always to go to the inside, but that isn't the route.
Dean Oncolade has had some low snaps. This one good, and he hurries the punt, gets it off, and it is fumbled at the 48-yard line, and it looked like Belle Chasse got it, but then lost it, and who comes down with the football? It looks like South Plaquemine, but hold everything.
Punt is muffed. The Cardinals recover.
It's a muff punt, and then we've got a flag. Oh, my goodness.
This late flag, very late flag. So something was said or done.
I think Chris Moses was the guy that came up with the muff punt for Belle Chasse.
Moses, a junior, one of the defensive backs.
Against the Cardinals.
He might have got up and had a couple of words either for an official or for one of the players from South Plaquemine. That's where you're going to get the unsportsmanlike. They're going to mark off 15 yards.
So that'll move it back to the 35-yard line from right at the midfield area. And that's where Belle Chasse will have it. So they've still got it with a lot of time to play in this second quarter. 8 minutes and 36 seconds. Now they've got a brand new press box here. But it looks like at night either the windows are very dark or smoke glass and it's hard to see. So we look at the monitor and we're watching what you're watching, and what a show by Amari Ambrose, who makes it look so easy. My goodness.
Well, we've said he's their big play guy, and here's a big play right off of the counter. Quarterback counter, holds on to the ball. A lot of eye candy going back and forth. The guys in the white jerseys are looking all over the place. They can't find the ball. Well, it's in Amari Ambrose's hand as he sprints into the end zone for another Belle Chasse score.
Well, that's a 65-yard TD by Amari Ambrose.
Who tipped the extra point. Number 89, Landon LeBlanc.
And Landon LeBlanc, who went 10 for 10 last week on extra points against East Jefferson, boots this one up, and it is good. 42-0. 6 for 6 tonight on extra points. And this one just got out of hand and crazy real easy. And you can just see the talent that Belle Chasse has. 17 starters returning. 17. 8 on offense, 9 on defense. Look, this is a team, Belle Chasse, that they have won only one state championship in their history. Well, they won another one. They won another one.
They're in District 9 4A, so they're going to be stepping up a little bit again next week. They've got Bonneville, then West Jeff. They've got the Willow School, and then they're going to be getting into that district play with St. Charles, Archbishop Shaw, and Kinder Discovery down towards the end of the season. So,
and Willow.
You know, they're trying to prime all of their engines right now to make sure that when they show up on that Friday night away in La Place at St. Charles Catholic, that they're hitting on all cylinders. And they are hitting on cylinders right now because
without question,
they're just toying with South Plaquemine.
And again, you're looking at a 2A school against a 4A school, but it shows the power of this 4A Belle Chasse Cardinal team to take a team that was a state champion last year. South Plaquemine won the state championship last year. They're not going to. Oh, flag goes down. Flag goes down as Cooper Fauché. Pardon me, not Cooper Fauché. That is Sabrin Bartholomew.
Well, Saban Bartholomew needs to go north and south, young man. He starts, and now he starts to go east and west. It isn't out there. Look at the speed of Belle Chasse coming down there. See a couple of flags.
Tackle for the Cardinals.
Yeah, this is a Belle Chasse team that has a lot of speed. They're fast. You know, you're looking at a team in Hank Tierney that in their district that won the state championship last year. They're playing a team tonight, South Plaquemines, that won their state championship at the 2A level last year. But let me also say this. They graduated a lot of their stars and a lot of their starters. They may be playing running clock.
Well,
the clock did not stop.
Clock has not stopped. I'm wondering if they've already gone to a running clock. I don't think you can do that until the second half unless for some reason.
Unless both coaches agree on it.
Or
the officials.
But it isn't supposedly until the second half
right.
Unless they've changed the federation rule. But the clock did not stop during that penalty enforcement, which was a holding penalty on the kickoff return by South Plaquemines.
Timeout called by South Plaquemines right now. That'll stop the clock with 6:45 to go. Let's say this, too, so that you'll understand something about South Plaquemines, folks. They won the state championship last year. They won, and this is a very good football team, but they graduated most of their skilled players from that 2024 state championship team. They graduated 4 senior wide receivers. This is a passing team that likes to throw the football in South Plaquemines, so that hurt them a little bit. And then tonight, they're missing 2 of their real good stars, Raymonte Jackson, a freshman running back, and also a wide receiver, Sharansky Prout. So they're playing without those 2 guys. They hope to have them back within a week or 2. But tonight, without that, and coming back in game number 3, from everybody you've lost or graduated, that's a lot. That's an awful lot. We've got some guests coming up here for a minute.
There we go.
1st and 10 Hurricanes from their own 11.
So I'm going to need your help, folks, with as we watch the monitor in this thing, because one thing from this press box you cannot see through the smoke glass that we have right here. And got Devery Henderson with us coming in as South Plaquemines will try to move the ball back and forth, and they go with an incomplete pass. And Devery Henderson, thank you for joining us. And right now, when the Saints legend comes in to join us, I know everybody gets excited about that. On the Super Bowl championship team with the Saints and in the Saints Hall of Fame, and everybody knows him, LSU from South Louisiana down to the Lafayette area. And so glad to see you. Thanks for coming up and visiting with us and telling us a little bit about what you and Ricky Jackson are doing here with part of this program.
Oh, we're just supporting. Just coming out and supporting Friday Night Football on behalf of New Orleans Saints.
Well, thank you for being here. I know it started with a long day, a great day for you guys in that you went to pep rallies at both schools, at South Plaquemines, then had to come an hour up the road to Belle Chasse.
Right.
And then you did one at Belle Chasse and then did some stuff before the game, and a lot of fun for you, I know.
Oh, yeah, it's a lot of fun. It's always good to tune into this atmosphere, Friday Night Football. You know, it's the rival schools here, same area, same community, so, you know, it brings out the community, and that's always a good thing.
Now, I didn't know we were just talking about this, so I'll fill you in on it. South Plaquemines was state champs last year at the 2A level. They're playing 4A Belle Chasse. Mm-hmm. South Plaquemines graduated most of their skilled players. They lost a lot of people, but they come into this game. They still have a lot of speed. They still have a lot of talent. They have 2 of their key players out, Raymonte Jackson, Sharansky Prout. We just talked about that. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of gone awry here in the first half for them. Have you ever been in a situation like this as a player at any level where a game just got away like this and you're on the wrong end of it?
Oh, definitely. Just can't hang your head on it. You got to go back to the drawing board, and I'm pretty sure they will, and just try to improve on the things that they can see they need improvement on. And, you know, you take the good, improve on the good, and you work on the bad. You got to correct some of those things.
There you go. Folks, we're talking with Devery Henderson, former Saint and a former LSU player, part of the Venture Global Day and New Orleans Saints High School Game of the Week, where he and Ricky Jackson were doing quite a bit with these players today. Tell us how the players accepted you all and what happened. And I know they loved it, but What happened as you got in with these guys? As we watch South Plaquemines, they haven't done much on this series, folks. Go ahead.
Oh, it take well. A few of them, the speed guys on Belle, Chasse, all approach me. Of course they want to pick on the old guy, but it was great, man, interacting with them. And, there's a lot of kids out here with a lot of potential to step up and do something on the next level. And encouragement from guys like us that always can take them along with.
What do they want? They want to know how they can get a little faster. How can they be a Devery Henderson?
Well, honestly, they just open to whatever info you give them, whatever you pour into them, they're willing to take it. And normally we give them something to kind of get them on the right mind, on the right track mentally, and things like that. And just thinking positive and understanding that you can do whatever you want to do in life. Don't ever doubt yourself.
That's great advice that you give to them, and I think this is very encouraging and should be very encouraging to everybody to see Venture Global and the New Orleans Saints team up with this and really make it something special for these kids. I know today what you did, and boy, you just got that punt off, as South Plaquemines has really struggled in the punting game. This one will roll and nobody back for Belle Chasse. They'll just let it roll back there and be blown dead at the 45-yard line of the Belle Chasse Cardinals. We'll have it with 3:47, and right now we are using a running clock early in this game. As Wade explained, it usually doesn't happen until the second half, but both coaches can agree on it. Right now they're using a running clock. So Devery Henderson up talking with us. I don't know if I didn't ask you a little something about your New Orleans Saints and LSU career, people would be upset. So, go back to, and again for the New Orleans Saints, naturally the Super Bowl is going to be a very special year. But outside of Super Bowl or in that year, one of your favorite memories or favorite times?
Oh, just me. Of course, the Super Bowl, as you said, but me was just getting my career going in the right direction. When the new staff came in, speaking of Sean Payton at the time, when they came in 2006, I was already there for 2 years, for 2 seasons. And just to get a fresh start and work on my game and get better at the things that I was, I struggled with. I think that was like a very, very tough time for me, to be able to see the better side of that, and to walk through it, to get through it and see the better side of it. That's special to me.
That was incomplete on first down for Hank Sauer. Let's go to an LSU great moment and one of your favorite memories.
Well, of course, the Bluegrass Miracle. Any kid a dream of, they play in the yard and throw the ball up, and he's gone on this one.
There he goes, folks. Dylan Carter, another touchdown tonight as Dylan Carter makes it look easy. Dylan Carter on the long one, 55 yards for Dylan Carter on that score. And that's going to up it to 48-0, and we wait for the extra point coming from Landon LeBlanc to make it 59. But go back to that, you were saying Bluegrass Miracle and
oh yeah, Bluegrass Miracle, of course. It stands out.
You said LSU, Devery Henderson, folks.
Yeah, the Bluegrass Miracle LSU, it stands out. Also, me converting to wide receiver. I started out playing running back for 2 years, and I converted to wide receiver and kind of had instant success, and kind of led the conference in touchdowns my very first year out playing wide receiver. So it was a good time. I had a great time transitioning to a wide receiver and stuff like that, and I never thought, in my heart of hearts, I thought I was always a running back. So just to be able to go through that and trust the coaching and trust myself and everything, and then stick with it.
Well, Dylan Carter on that 55-yard run, he didn't come up to you today and say, I want to do something and look like Devery Henderson tonight, because he sure has tonight as a running back and a receiver.
Right. Yeah, I did get a chance to speak with him briefly on the side. Good kid, got a good head on his shoulder, speaks well.
Any special advice you had for him?
I just told him keep going.
Devery, as you in your post-football career, how are you enjoying life, and how did football set you up, especially your relationship with Sean Payton and Miss Benson and this wonderful Saints organization, to be the person you are today and have the success you have had?
Yeah, basically, nowadays is I use my platform, myself, and what I've done with the New Orleans Saints to still be a face for the Saints in the community. events like this, and anything they need from me, I pretty much try to give back. I'm not into coaching on that level of anything, but anything community related, giving back, anything like that, I'm always a phone call away for. So I pride myself in doing those things too.
Well, Devery Henderson, this has been absolutely fantastic and fun. 49-0. They used the running clock with about 5 minutes to go, 6-7 minutes to go, right up in there somewhere in this second quarter. But as you watch these stars and the talent on the field tonight, and remember, this is AA and 4A you're watching tonight. This is just what Louisiana football is all about. I mean, I didn't have a chance yet to go back and ask you about high school. So maybe one of you. We asked you about a Saints favorite memory, an LSU favorite memory. This is Devery Henderson. Give us a prep memory. Lafayette, right? Opelousas.
We gotta get that right.
Shame on me, baby. Opelousas. You got it. And let me tell you, as my friends used to tell me, don't say Lafayette when it's Opelousas.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Maybe a short drive, but it's a big distance, baby. He's smiling, folks. I love it. He knows it, too.
Oh, man.
Favorite Opelousas memory?
Just my whole journey in Opelousas, getting to high school, man. I was always a good up-and-coming name, leading the high school, and I always thought size-wise I was behind the ball, and, it would be a gap. But I got to high school and just really started clicking every sport, man. I even played baseball. I was a hell of a baseball player coming up, but I chose track.
What position did you play?
Center field.
You were a center field. I bet you hit speed.
Did I? Leadoff hitter.
Oh, how many base hits did you steal? How many singles did you take away from somebody?
Yeah, 3 or 4 pitches, I'll be on third base.
Yes. If you got on first, you were on third.
I'm on third and 2 or 3
Yeah, because you weren't
pitches.
staying on first long, were you? Yeah.
Not at all.
See ya. Bye-bye. The road runners on the base path.
It was truly something to see. I think in '92, and I'm just speaking back on my childhood back in Opelousas, we were state runner-ups. We would have, had we won the game, we would have represented Louisiana in the Little League World Series.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is something special, something very, very special. Devery Henderson, along with Ricky Jackson, did so much and is part of this venture global of full day of football activities with the New Orleans Saints partnering. They pick a high school game of the week, and you pick one that really we thought was going to be much tighter and much crazier than this. But you're looking at a South Plaquemines team, as we said, that graduated a lot of skilled players and is missing 2 big ones tonight.
Oh, yeah. I think this one just got away from them, but I think they can, there's nothing to hang their head on. I mean, they'll look back at it and see the things that they've done well and didn't do well and take it from there. I think that the team have a lot of fight in them. I just think tonight is just something's in the air. It's not their night.
Let me see if I can get – did you want to ask – Wade Kaiser want to talk with Devery at all on this? This is fantastic. Let me –
Heard it all.
You want to say something? We're going to put Wade Kaiser on with you for a second. Wade Kaiser, former coach at Jesuit, former good player at Jesuit.
Devery, I remember watching you playing baseball in that Little League World Series, young man. I remember that.
No way.
Yes, I do. Look, I'm an old dude.
No way.
Because I watched that Little League World Series. I remember watching you.
Yes,
Absolutely. And when he said Lafayette, I grimaced back there, man.
Yeah, right.
I knew it was Opelousas. Opelousas High, right?
That's it.
There you go. Very good. I'm glad to see you here tonight, and I know these folks from both South Plaque and Belle Chasse. We're excited to see you guys today and everything. So you staying in shape and everything these days?
Keeping my weight down.
Yeah, that's hard, huh?
I wouldn't say staying in shape.
You look good.
So you can't get out there and run them 110s like you used to,
I can attempt, man.
You can attempt.
I'll give it a trial, and I'll let you know how it went.
There you go. But still catch the ball, baby. I know you got to extend. I know you can still catch that ball, man.
Keep your eyes on it.
Got to keep your eyes on the ball. Well, that's fantastic. So,
yes, indeed.
Where are we living these days, Devery?
I'm in St. Charles Parish. I moved there the day when I got drafted, and I've been in the same area since.
Gotcha. Yeah. Well, there you go.
Real laid back community.
Right.
Quiet. It's perfect for me.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. That sounds fantastic.
Devery Henderson, one of Thank you, baby.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you,
Devery, want to thank you. It's been great, and you and Ricky Jackson, you guys are pillars of our community and everything that you've guys done for the New Orleans area, and especially for our Saints.
Oh, yeah, we appreciate it, and we'll keep doing it. Trust me.
Once a Saint, always a Saint, my friend.
That's it.
Wait, don't take that headset off. Let me get this one on. I want to
Okay.
thank you one time.
Gotcha.
Real quick. And folks, Devery Henderson again coming up to talk with us, and like Wade just did, I just want to thank you not only for everything you've done with the Saints, but for LSU and Opelousas, what you've done for football, what you've done for sports in Louisiana, what you've done for baseball, because I forgot about that one. Wade Kaiser didn't. Just thank you so much for being Devery Henderson and working with the Saints, and right now what you're doing again with Venture Global is so very, very special. Thank you. Thank you very much from the bottom of our hearts, and thank you for stopping up and chatting with us. Devery Henderson.
Anytime.
Saints legend, baby. Saints legend. All I want to know before you leave is one thing. Why didn't you win the ESPY? What was the play, and why didn't you get the ESPY for that play?
ESPY.
You did get the ESPY.
It's in Opelousas.
You got the ESPY.
Yeah, I got it.
Oh, my goodness. Somebody told me you didn't get the ESPY.
No,
and I
I
said,
got the ESPY.
because I told them you did. They said, no, he didn't get the
Yeah, I
You
got
got the ESPY. What
Yeah,
was
I
the
got
play? What was the play real quick?
90, dash right 93 Berlin.
Woohoo! There it is, man. My bad. And thank you for correcting me. I love it.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, that's as good as the Hall of Fame right there, right?
That's it, my man. Yes, indeed.
All right, good deal. Devery Henderson, appreciate it. Thank you so much. And we're just saying goodbye to Devery Henderson, and thank y'all so much. Coach Mack, we've got you, baby. Thank you. You got it. All right. We're at halftime, and Belle Chasse is up 49-0. They used a running clock for part of the second half, and
they did change that rule in Federation where it can be ran at any particular time. Correct. And usually it's in the second half now. It's by choice when both coaches decide they want to run the clock, and they can now do it in the first half. And apparently both coaches agreed to get that done in the first half. Look for a lot of different jerseys, especially from the Belle Chasse Cardinals here in the second half, trying to get a lot of kids on the field with their 49-0 lead coming back for the second half.
Yeah, and look, and again, folks, we're having a little trouble seeing through the smoked glass in the press box, so we're calling it off the monitor with you, so I don't have the stats. We focused on trying to give you player numbers and what's happening. I don't have the stats to give you. We don't have a statistician or spotter for this. But this is a loaded Belle Chasse team. Give them credit for everything. They have speed. What Stephen Meyer has built here, this is a team good enough to win the championship. They only have one here, man, they want another one really, really bad, and they think this is the team, this is the year. But again, they're in a tough district, as we said. So they're in a district that you've got to be able to handle. Shaw, you've got to be able to handle. St. Charles Catholic, you've got to be able to handle Discovery. And so, it's not an easy district. You've got some teams that you got to beat, and then you get in the playoffs, and you still got to handle business. So this is a team that they can do it. With players like Savion Bartholomew on both sides of the ball, and you have seen what Amari Ambrose, the quarterback, has done. Dylan Carter, just so good in this game. We'll try to recap some of the scoring in this 49-0 go. But also know this, South Plaquemines is a great school. They had 2 state championships and a state championship appearance in 2007, 8, and then they won those. 9 is the one that they got to and didn't win it. Their coach was a player on that team. So Lyle Feet was a player on that team, went on to Louisiana Tech, and he took over this program in 2017 and has slowly built this South Plaquemine team up. And you know what? Last year they won the state championship. So they won the Division IV non-select state championship and graduated almost everybody. And with that, they still had enough talent to come out and start 2-0 on this season with wins over Higgins 29-20 and Bogalusa 38-14, beating former South Plaquemine coach Cyril Crutchfield, who's at Bogalusa. So those things make a difference, but when you lose most of your talented people and you've got 2 people on the bench, when you've got only a 37-man roster, 8 eighth graders on that 37-man roster, and 2 of them are out in Ramonte Jackson and Sharansky Prout, with injuries, hope to have them back, if not next week, by the week after. Then sometimes when you run up against a good Belle Chasse team, even in a parish rivalry like this, you're going to have a game like this.
Right. Well, I mean, look, it's a long season, folks, and South Plaquemine will figure things out, and I think they'll get better here a little bit in this second half. But as they move forward with the rest of their schedule, next week they're looking at East Jefferson, and then they go into Livingston Collegiate, Sarah T. Reed, Metairie Park Country Day when they're in their district, Cohen in their district, and then the big one at the end with Isidore Newman, right? They're going to be a playoff team here at the end of the season, and that's when usually you see South Plaquemine catch fire, as they did last year, and they had that fire going right into the dome where they had that 20-0 defeat of a real good Haynesville team. So, it's a long season. We're only in week 3, and they'll get things worked out. They'll be better here in the second half, I'm sure, and they'll get things rolling as they go into the rest of their season.
And if I'm not mistaken, the last touchdown of the first half, I'm going to ask Wade here, by Belle Chasse, I believe that was Carter again, right? Dylan Carter? Or was that Amari Ambrose that made that long run?
I believe that was Dylan Carter that made that long run at the end.
At the end. So that, if so, that was Dylan Carter's third touchdown of the first half. Ambrose, your quarterback, had 2, and then Kai Wallace had 1, and then the block punt or slap down punt recovered in the end zone by Hank Sauer was the other one. So again, 7 touchdowns. 3 by Carter, 2 by Ambrose is 5. Wallace and Sauer with the other 2. Let's Wade's got the scoreboard. Let's call upon Wade to give us some scores around the state.
Well, let's remember, if you want all of the up-to-date scores, every score from around the state, in all classifications, in all divisions, go to Crescent City Sports, and you will be able to catch up on those scores. A lot happened last night. Thursday night is a big game big night around the state for prep football. The reason being is just getting enough officials to call things. They're asking teams if they would like to move their games to Thursday night, and a lot of teams just go ahead and volunteer and play on a Thursday night, so that way they can make sure there are enough officials to go around on Friday. But here are some of the scores going on around our state right now, especially at the 5A level. All right, let me make sure everything's up board on the scoreboard here. All right, here we go. West Monroe 28, North DeSoto 17. North DeSoto was the team that beat Belle Chasse last year in the second round of the Division 2 non-select playoffs last year. They lost, and it was kind of a crushing defeat for the Cardinals, 38-14. But North DeSoto tonight is behind West Monroe, 28-17. Southside is in a dogfight with Madison Prep out in the western part of the state, 14-14. Tight one between St. Amant and John F. Kennedy. St. Amant 7, John F. Kennedy 6. St. Paul's 24, De La Salle 7. De La Salle playing a killer non-district schedule. Vanderbilt Catholic has it rolling down the bayou down there. They're up 33-7 on Sulphur. They are playing great football in Homa. Terrebonne up 14-8 over St. James. That is a huge score. We called Terrebonne a couple of weeks ago when we saw them against Riverside. At halftime, Tioga 42, Pineville 14. Halftime, Ruston 22, Longview out of Texas 21. At halftime, Salmon 28, Bogalusa nothing. In the first quarter, Scotlandville 14, McKinley 0. Second quarter, Warren Easton 42, Slidell 28. Halftime, Hawnville up 21-7 over E.D. White. E.D. White plays a killer non-district schedule. They had lined up against Holy Cross. They lined up against Jesuit. And now tonight they're lining up against Hawnville. John Curtis has an open date this week, folks. You folks from John Curtis, if you're looking around the schedule to find out what their score is, they have an open date tonight. Second quarter, 7-7. John Arid over Lords, Beaconsville, Landry. Second quarter, Lafayette 28, Mamou 0. At halftime, Live Oak 28, Ponchatoula 20. Second quarter, George Washington Carver 14, Mandeville 6. Wow, Carver is electric. Can't wait to see them later this year. Second quarter, Oak Grove 6, Neville nothing. I'll say that one more time. Oak Grove out of Mississippi 6, Neville nothing. Neville down on the scoreboard. You don't hear of that too often. Halftime, New Iberia 21, Como 21. Halftime, Lakeshore 14, North Shore 13. Halftime, Edna Carr 42, McDonough 35-0. Had the pleasure to call last week the Heritage Edna Carr game. What a great ball game for the Carr Cougars to win it in overtime. First quarter, Fontainebleau 6, Peabody nothing. Second quarter, Zachary 21, Carenco 13. Halftime, Catholic Baton Rouge, University Lab 14. Also had the pleasure of calling them last week. University Lab against Rummel. Rummel in a big win over University Lab in the first ball game of that Dome Classic in the Superdome, in the name for Ed Daniels. Tomorrow, Central Baton Rouge will be lining up against Walker. Tonight, second quarter, Central Lafourche 13, South Lafourche 21 in the battle down the bayou of the two Lafourche teams. Halftime, Holy Cross 10, Chalmette nothing. There you go, Ken.
That's good for Holy Cross. He's off. I'll tell you what, Scott Rodney's got him rolling. They're off to a really good start.
Right, they had a huge win against Edie White, and now they're up 10-0 on Chalmette. We will be calling the Jesuit Holy Cross game later this season. Looking forward to that. Halftime, Covington 35, Booker T. Washington nothing. Second quarter, Dennis Spriggan 17, Woodlawn of Baton Rouge nothing. And a bunch of games scheduled for tomorrow. Apparently some teams are electing to play on Saturday now. Second quarter, Jesuit 17, Bonneville nothing. Second quarter, Brother Martin traveling to Mississippi. New Hope High School out of Mississippi. Brother Martin 21, New Hope High School out of Mississippi 12. Second quarter, Evangeline Christian 22, C.E. Bird 7. Big rivalry up in Shreveport. There's some of your scores, ladies and gentlemen. Again, if you want all the scores up to date, when they're playing in all classifications and all divisions, go to crescentcitysports.com and go to the score section, and they'll all be right there for you.
Well, I think I've got this right, because fighting with this glass and then also just trying to keep up with everything that's going on. We lost track of the yardage, folks, but we've got Carter, again, Dylan Carter with 3 touchdowns in the first half. The Belle Chase quarterback, Amari Ambrose, with 2. That's 5 of the touchdowns. Kai Wallace with 1. So that's number 6. And then Hank Sauer recovered 1 in the end zone and recovered a kind of a muffed punt, block punt into the end zone. Hank Sauer with a recovery. That is the 7th touchdown. 7 down 7 is 49. So there you have it, 49-0. Started with Belle Chase getting the ball and a little sloppy at both sides, but they ended up getting a 36-yard run by Amari Ambrose for the 7-0 lead. And then, again, South Plaquemine wasn't able to do anything offensively with the ball, and that was primarily because Savion Bartholomew was all over their backfield. I mean, he stays any more in the backfield, they're going to have to give him a white jersey with some black numbers on it. And it just, they got the ball that time to Kai Wallace, and Waikala scored the second touchdown, made it 14-0. And then it was just a roll after that. It was Hank Sauer with the recovery in the end zone, 21-0. Dylan Carter, Ambrose, and then Carter and Carter. Carter with 7-yard run, a 55-yard run, and a long run at the very end, which I believe was about 49 yards.
entertaining family children.
But that's where we are right now, and in the big picture, it's a 49-0.
Number 89, Landon LeBlanc.
They're going to start off the second half with a running clock. As you can see, folks, that clock is rolling.
Already, yes. And they got it started. So taking at the 20-yard line, South Plaquemines. Let's see if they can start this second half. And just at this point, wave off what happened in the first half and play like South Plaquemines can play. Cayman Perkins on the return for a few yards. And let's see if this South Plaquemines offense can get something started. This is a good offense. It's not a bad offense, despite the fact that they lost most of their big playmakers who graduated off this state championship team. They still rolled to victories over L.W. Higgins, 29-20, and Bogalusa, 38-14. So you come in here with a 2-0 record. But they're meeting a team that's as good defensively as they are offensively, and that big guy in the right defensive end slot, number 91, a little hard to make out the numbers even on the monitor here. He has just wreaked havoc, and we've got stoppage on the first play.
Yeah, well, Belle Chase brings a blitz off the edge, and he got there a little bit too soon. So we're going to get an offsides.
Indication offsides against the
Savion Bartholomew, we've talked a lot about him. He has just been so very, very special. Had a couple of sacks in the McMain game.
Is a first down and 5 for the Hurricanes at their own 37.
And 3 tackles for loss in that game, and wreaked a little havoc in the East Jefferson backfield. East Jefferson, with him putting pressure on the quarterbacks, was not able to complete a pass in the entire game last week. And again, 131 points scored, and the opponents have not touched the Belle Chase end zone. So here's a roll by Roderick Parker. He'll just tuck it under, keep it, gets hit hard at the 41-yard line and driven out of bounds.
Well, they sprint away from Bartholomew that time, which is what they need to do, right? However, nothing's open downfield. Everything's covered up by a black jersey, so he tucks it and runs, and he gets lit up on the boundary. Can't tell the number of the defender that lights him up over there, but I think they got either at the first down marker or near the first down marker. They're going to measure it. But you see, they ran to the wide side of the field. They sprinted out to the wide side of the field. They got away from 91, right, Bartholomew, and they move the chains. They get the first down. So there's your first adjustment that you've seen right there out of South Plaquemines at halftime. Let's roll away from him. Let's use turn back protection, and let's make him run after us.
Yeah, started way back at about the 31-yard line, I believe. Now they're up to the 42-yard line. Get that first down, move the chains, and this is what's important for South Plaquemines to do. Just get it rolling, see what you can do in the second half. We're using running clock, nowhere to go that time. And, wow, just a really good hit that time by Cruz LeBlanc.
Cruz LeBlanc makes a nice play right there, steps up into the hole, and tackles the running back on Claude nicely in the backfield, and he's all excited. He's all pumped up. You know, when you're up on the scoreboard and you're still making plays like that, you know you're going to be feeling good about yourself. The guys in white have just got to find something to make them feel better. They got to pop something. They got to get into the end zone somehow just to give them a little bit of that feel-good vibe that all players want.
That number 18, Cruz LeBlanc, had a scoop and score against East Jefferson and a block punt against him last week. So it's been a pretty good day for a year for him so far. And this one's intercepted at the 28-yard line, coming back. And all the way down. And stayed in bounds with a good step, and there you go right there. Flag on the play coming back, and that's Kai Wallace. But hold everything.
Well, it was Kai Wallace catching the ball, but I'm going to tell you who set that interception up was Savion Bartholomew. Just clocking Roderick Parker was in his face. Here's our call. And I think that roughing the quarterback is going to be on 91, Savion Bartholomew. And when I'm telling you, he got into the face of Roderick Parker and clocked him. Watch him deliver the tackle into the backfield, and boom, there it is right there. Problem is he went to the head. Yeah. He went to the head with the hand coming down. That's going to be 15 yards personal foul in any league, right?
Yes.
So it's going to negate Kai Wallace's touchdown interception. They're going to have words with each other when they get to the locker room, I'm sure.
Yeah, that just negated a 72-yard interception return for a touchdown.
Kai's going to have a word with the big man about that, I'm sure.
So, first down from the 46. And again, it's hard to run. It's really hard to run because Savion Bartholomew and others are just making it so tough. Look, give credit to the entire front. Savion Bartholomew, but Thomas Nelson, a 6'2 senior, Glenn Davis, a 5'9 senior, Logan Jackson, a 5'10 senior. That's your front. And we've got one player shaken up. And I'm not sure who cannot see the number where we are.
Well, it's one of the defensive linemen. Look, they've
it might.
I can't
tell.
He's hitting on his left leg. He might be cramping a little bit. He might be tired.
Yeah, let's see.
However, again, that defensive front for Belle Chasse is really talented, right? And it's led by, as we said, number 91, Bartholomew. And that's who it is. That's who was down.
Well, I thought, but I didn't want to say it until I could be absolutely sure of the number. But he's up and okay, smiling, so it was cramping.
Yeah, there you go. He's tired, but, again, he needs to get over that, right? Get on up. I know, big man, you're tired, but you just don't lay there. Get up unless you're really hurt, right? So there you go. But anyway,
sometimes you got to take a nap, baby.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Well, that's for us old people, right? I mean, we got to take the nap. But they're very talented. Getting back to this Belle Chasse front, these guys, with their district they're going to be going into, they've got to be hitting on cylinders. They've got to be healthy by the time they get to, Patterson, which is a good football team, but it's a non-district game. But it's St. Charles, followed by Archbishop Shaw, which is the penultimate part of their schedule and their district.
Is that a new word? I like that.
Yeah, I can't spell it, though.
Pass is deflected, incomplete.
Yeah, it was one of my ACT words, right?
So here we are. We have a running clock if you're joining us late. It's been all Belle Chasse. South Plaque has just struggled to get going, and we had a running clock with about, somewhere around the 5-minute plus mark of the second quarter. South Plaque, as we said before, has a couple of people out tonight in Ramonte Jackson and Sharansky Prout. Also, they have graduated a lot of people off their state championship team from last year. But this is still a good offense. We're waiting to see them explode. We have not seen anything really explosive, and credit the Belle Chasse defense for that. So Roderick Parker is in trouble, but yet he escapes only for a little while and is pulled down from behind by Logan Jackson.
Well, South Plaquemines going to have to get better up front. I know they're giving up a lot of weight and a lot of size up there, but they're going to have to get a lot better as they continue on in their schedule. When you win state championships and you're as a good football program as South Plaquemines, it's hard to schedule, right? This is going to be a scheduling year. So, I mean, that's the reason why if you look at their schedule, they're playing 5A teams. Higgins, I think Bogalusa is a 4A team. Belle Chasse a 4A team. East Jefferson a 5A team, right? So they're not even into district yet, and they're looking at some of the better 2A teams in their district with Metairie Park Country Day and Cohen tonight with a huge lead over who they're playing, right? So it's a good football teams that they're going to be seeing in their schedule.
4th down and 11. Hey, why not? Let's go for it here. We're working on things, and let's see what Roderick Parker can do. Big rush again. He'll throw, and he's got his man. It is complete. That, I believe, is Ian Taylor down there, and it is the 8th grader, Ian Taylor. Pulls it down, and he's playing like a seasoned senior tonight.
Now, does he look like an 8th grader in an 8th grader body? I mean, am I imagining this, or am I looking at a pretty darn good athlete right there for an 8th grader, and he has a great future in front of him, not only here in high school for the next 4 and 5 years until he gets to his senior year, but after that.
Well, look at number 1, Roderick Parker. We've got first down. Now they're way down here in Belle Chase territory. Roderick Parker was a starter at quarterback and on the field as an 8th grader. He is a 5th-year quarterback, spilled right there on maybe a touchdown-saving tackle if he would have split to the outside, and a little bit of a knee problem by, I believe, that is...
Can't get a number there. Let's see if we can. There you go. Looks like number 0.
Hillary Rodriguez.
There you go. Looks like he's sitting and he's holding his right knee.
Now, Coach told me if we call him Hilario or Hillary, that nobody's going to know who we're talking about. But if we say Pee Wee, we got him. Pee Wee is 5'8", 165, and he can play the position like big old Savian Bartholomew at 6'3", 290.
All right, well, there you go, Pee Wee.
Pee Wee's coming off the field for a second.
There you go. He's got smiles on his face.
He
He's
does.
Okay.
He's okay. Everybody's smiling as they come off the field, which is good. You don't want to see anybody get injured. We are playing running clock right now.
Well, getting back to Roderick Parker, starting since he was an 8th grader, you got to remember down in Lower Plaquemine Parish, okay? And let's kind of talk about how South Plaquemine became South Plaquemine. It was at one time down there, Port Sulphur High School, right? We all know the story of Katrina, right? Cyril Crutchfield was down there. He rode that thing out in the gym, right? And, of course, Lower Plaquemine Parish took it on the chin. I'll let you go ahead and make the call.
Here's Roderick Parker. He is being flushed out of the pocket and just throws it away wisely. Good decision.
But we know Lower Plaquemine Parish, as the majority of Mississippi, southeast Louisiana, took it on the chin from Katrina, they decided to consolidate all the schools in Lower Plaquemine into one and call it South Plaquemine High School. And, of course, they gave it the name the Hurricanes. Right? So there you go. But the population down in the lower part of Plaquemine Parish, just either didn't come back or is not grown back to where it was 10 years ago, right? So they're playing 8th graders. And because their school, is, if I'm not mistaken, a middle school and a high school together. 6th, 7th, 8th, all the way up to their senior year. So they're going to play 8th graders if they're athletes, and I don't blame Coach Feet.
Parker throws incomplete right off the hands of Ahmad Lewis. It was just a tad bit high, and Lewis took a hit. Slow to get up.
And I recommend to everybody, if they can, look up the story of Coach Crutchfield riding the storm out in the gym at Port Sulphur. And it's a harrowing tale, but also a very heroic tale for a very heroic man who did not want to leave the school itself.
And you know what? He stayed, and he built it into a championship caliber team.
He did.
2 years later, 2007, 2008, back-to-back state championships. 2009, they lose in the state championship game. Lyle Feet, who is the coach now, was on those teams. He went on to Louisiana Tech, came back, took over the coaching job in 2017, and has built it into what happened last year, that 3rd state championship. Throw into the end zone and just a little off the mark. That one.
Pass falls incomplete.
I think that was intended for Kerwin Davis.
Yep, we haven't seen Kerwin get anything or targeted for anything up to this day. So Kerwin Davis targeted for the first time, but the pass a little off the mark.
I had the great opportunity to coach against Cyril Crutchfield when he spent a few years at St. Aug, and I was at Jesuit, and he was a gentleman to all ends, a great opportunity to coach against one of the state's best, right? And I really enjoyed my time coaching against him.
Let's give credit to the third quarter sponsor as the third quarter rolls to an end tonight on Crescent City Sports, brought to you by Game On Social Hub at 2421 Veterans in Kenner, with a full-service restaurant, arcade games, bowling, axe throwing, and laser tag. Game On has it all. They're open till midnight tonight. And on Monday nights at 6, join Ken Trahan with special guest for the Saints Hall of Fame show on 106.7 The Ticket, live from Game On Social Hub. This week's guest, former Tulane quarterback in the Mac Brown era, Terrence Jones from Lutcher High School.
Lutcher High School,
yep.
Absolutely. Terrence Jones, one of the greats to go through not only Lutcher but through Tulane.
I'll tell you a great story about Terrence Jones and how he ended up, because Mac Brown was the offensive coordinator for Barry Switzer at Oklahoma. So first down, and again, big hole over the right side. And let's see if we see some maybe fresh people coming in to run the football. No, that's Dylan Carter on the run, so starter's still in there. And by the way, credit Belle Chasse. They have kept the 0 on the scoreboard, so far in 2 games, 131 points, but they have shut out their first 2 opponents. But Terrence Jones is going with Mac Brown to Oklahoma, and Barry Switzer, as the story goes, looks at the team that Mac Brown's going to take over and says, Mac, I've got quarterbacks at Oklahoma, but you need Terrence Jones from Lutcher to go with you to Tulane because he can help you turn that program around. And sure enough, they talked to Terrence about it. Terrence was all excited about coming with Mac to Tulane and went from 110 to 4.7 to 6.5 and a Liberty Bowl appearance. Lost to Washington that year in the Liberty Bowl, University of Washington in Shreveport. But what a great career Terrence had back then. And here we go, running around the right side. And we see the first touch for Elijah Ankar, sophomore running back. Ankar is from the South Plaquemines area, so he was a little dinged up on the right side, lower right leg. And he says, Coach, I'm from South Plaquemines. I've got to play in this game. Come on, you've got to put me in. He says, Coach Stephen Meyer said, I'd like to see you just stay healthy for next week. He says, oh, come on. So Ankar gets a carry against a lot of his old good buddies that he grew up with down in South Plaquemines. Let's see if he gets a call 1 or 2 more times. He won't this time. This is Ambrose.
Ambrose keeps it off the zone read right there. That's kind of the bread and butter of what Ambrose likes to do, that little option zone read where he reads the last guy on the line of scrimmage and he'll pull that thing out and just take off. Now
Amari Ambrose is out. Jackson Jones coming in to do the quarterback. He is the sophomore backup quarterback. There's a third quarterback on this team, Cruz LeBlanc, this Belle Chasse team, but he plays so much at the linebacker position that they only use him if they absolutely have to. Jackson Jones, the sophomore. And again, Belle Chasse just continues to move it forward. He hands it off that time to Elijah Ankar, the young man we talked about from the lower Plaquemine Parish area, from the South Plaquemine area, but playing for Belle Chasse. So getting some carries, which he wanted to do and get in to play against this team.
Well, no doubt about it. Jackson Jones comes in with 11 carries, 79 yards. He's got 3 touchdowns already on the season. He's only a sophomore, 5'8", 140. Son, get to the dinner table. He needs to put some weight on.
So the 5'8" backup quarterback, Jackson Jones, hands it off again. And right now, this is what Belle Chasse would want to do, just slowly run the football and give some other people an opportunity to carry the football. This time it's Parker Rodriguez, the sophomore.
Yeah, he comes in with 61 yards and 2 touchdowns so far this season. So he's going to get a few touches here tonight. They've got some other offensive linemen in there. They're kind of rotating a bunch of jerseys now, new black jerseys on the field for Belle Chasse.
Third down short. And here goes Jackson Jones scooting around the right side. Looks like he just got enough for the first down to move the sticks, and he does. And again, running clock. So we're down to the 8-minute mark in this game. This game was 49-0 at the half. They used the running clock with a little over 5 to go in the second quarter, and they've stayed with it here in the second half. So Jackson Jones comes over to the sideline, gets a little bit of an instruction, goes back into the game.
Well, he's getting the play. He's running over, and the coach is giving him the play, and then he's running back on the field. So, that way there is no mistake. You do that a lot of times with your JV quarterbacks. Make sure they get the right play communicated.
And nothing fancy, just pounding straight ahead and getting some yardage out of it.
You know, what's great for some of these JV guys is they're getting some reps now in a varsity game, right? They probably played a JV game this week against an opponent, and now they're going to get some JV reps in the varsity game on the Friday Night Lights. And this is not only great for them in their maturity process of becoming better football players, but it's great for mom and dad who are sitting up in the stands watching it and are excited. Their hearts are pounding that their young athlete is getting some playing time.
Ancor gets the handoff again and is hit and brought down.
Elijah Ancor, around the left side.
So not only does Belle Chasse have some excellent starters with speed, with ability, with talent, but you can see the backups aren't that bad either. Ancor, again, a little dinger or two in the right foot, but expected to be healthy by tonight. Coach Stephen Meyer wanted to hold him till next week just to be sure, but he said, you know what? He said, Coach, you got to put me in against the South Plaquemines friends here, and he had the chance to do so.
Well, Jackson Jones right there on the quarterback counter, right?
Yeah.
And look at the nice blocking by the offensive line, getting the kick out and the seal, and Jackson Jones keeps the ball, counter to the left, and he sticks it up in there for a little guy. He's got some athleticism, right? He can take off. He's got nice feet.
So we reached the hydration break, which they'll take at the 5:58 mark, and that'll give us an opportunity to thank our fourth quarter sponsor. Tonight's coverage on Crescent City Sports is brought to you by the Lamarck Automotive Complex in Kenner. Lamarck Lincoln is the only Lincoln Black Label dealership in the market. It's more than ownership, it's membership. And as Ronnie says, must be a reason. Ronnie Lamarck and Lamarck Ford, thank you for being our fourth quarter sponsor on CrescentCitySports.com. Belle Chasse and South Plaquemines. The Battle of the Boot is going to go to the Belle Chasse Cardinals for now 11 out of the last 12 times. And this will be, I believe, 9 in a row. And right now the Cardinals would like to push one more across, but more importantly, they just don't want to see anything other than that 0 on the other side of the board. So the handoff, and this one goes to Parker Rodrigue inside the 20. And the big junior fullback pushes forward.
Well, again, getting great reps for these young guys, right? I mean, there's a lot of sophomores in there right now for Belle Chasse, and these guys, this is what it's all about. They work hard all week. They're on the show teams and things like that. And when they get the opportunity to get on the field and get some reps, coaches want to do that.
Jones, a sophomore, handing off to Ancor, a sophomore, and Ancor takes it into the end zone for the score. Touchdown, Elijah Ancor, and boy, what a night for him. We just talked about how much he wanted to get in and play against a lot of his friends from South Plaquemines because he is originally from the South Plaquemines area and made the move up to Belle Chasse, but this is a big moment for him to not only play but get the score touchdown.
Tell you what, great blocking out there on the edge. I didn't get the number of the wide receiver. It looked like one of the young wide receivers that was out there on the edge doing a great job stalk blocking. And that's huge to be able to spring Ancor into the end zone. I always love to see those wide receivers on the edge doing what they're taught to do, not just catch the football, but it's also blocking.
Landon LeBlanc.
And the extra point is good.
So Landon LeBlanc with...
He's going to have to ice his leg tonight. I mean,
he is now 25 of 27 from on extra points, and we are only in the third game of the season.
He's going to need a little cryotherapy. I mean, his leg's got to be hurting.
And again, folks, what are we talking about? We're talking about a Belle Chasse team that beat McMain 61-0, East Jefferson 70-0, and right now they're leading 56-0 against South Plaquemines. So the big thing for this Belle Chasse defense is right now they've pitched 2 consecutive shutouts. They're very close to a 3rd consecutive shutout. And I think no matter what happens, they just want to see that 0 stay on the board.
You know, Kenny, I think if you talk to Stephen Myers knows that, the 3 teams, and that includes South Plaquemines tonight, he's had their way with them. And he'll tell you that. But he knows what he's staring at down the line, right? And he knows where he's got to have his team in order to get the best out of them when it comes to what he's going to be facing when he gets into that district.
Exactly.
And he knows what buttons he's going to have to push. And what's nice right now is he's getting to play a bunch of young kids, which is giving him some depth. Right? Because at the latter part of the season, you got some guys that are nicked up and banged up, and those young guys are going to have to come through for you. So being up in some of these ball games, as he's had these 3 weeks, these young guys are getting reps, getting some playing experience. That's good for his football team as he looks what's going to be happening down in week 8, 9, and 10 when he gets into this district play.
Yeah, and the other thing about that, too, that I think is that was returned by Idrius Trufant, an 8th grader. So South Plaquemines getting to play some people like 8th graders too, which is important.
Right, and it's about building depth.
That's
right. It's when you get the opportunity to empty your benches and get a lot of people on the field. It's about building depth, good feelings. Hey, these kids practice every day. They show up every day. They work out in the off season. They work out all summer. They do everything the coaches ask them to do. And when you get a chance to get them on the field, I know as a coach, I loved getting my young kids on the field. Number one, it meant hopefully I was up on the scoreboard. But number two, it gave them an opportunity to show their wares, and it made mom and dad so happy.
And there's Josh Bartholomew, a senior, getting a carry. And again, we're using running clock, so we're down to the final 1:18, 1:17 here. But as you said, just the opportunity for both of these, even if you're on the other end of it right now, get some 8th graders, give them some experience.
Yeah, and it builds camaraderie and it builds, good feelings inside for those kids.
So look who's lined up at quarterback, an 8th grader, Ian Taylor. And he'll take it. He'll go from a Wildcat and just take off. Whether he was just there as the Wildcat to let him run or give him a shot at some quarterbacking, he didn't hand it off or anything. But again, you're dealing with an 8th grader.
Ian Taylor is going to be the backup quarterback should something ever happen to Roderick Parker. They're going to take Ian Taylor, the 8th grader, which we can tell is a great athlete because they use him on kick returns, punt returns, wide receiver. He plays on defense. So he's going to be the backup quarterback. What they're doing right now is they're getting him some reps. They know they're not going to be able to score 56 points in 33 seconds, so let's give him some reps at quarterback in case something happens so we can build some depth.
That's Dean Onkelade, who was shaken up on the play. Hopefully nothing more than a cramp, the way he's limping off like that. And the clock is going to continue to run, and that might be it. So the final score in this one is 56-0. They're going to let the final 12 seconds run out. No need to go any further. 3 straight shutouts by this Belle Chasse defense. 3-0. South Plaquemine falls to 2-1 after wins over Higgins and Bogalusa. The South Plaquemine Hurricanes come down and drop their first game of the season. But again, South Plaquemine, a 2A team playing against 4A Belle Chasse. And you're seeing a 2A team with some talent. If they can just get everything back to where they want it to be and get a couple of their injured players. You did not hear from Ramonte Jackson tonight or from Sharansky Prout. Both of those players are out. When they're back, this is going to be an explosive team, and you're going to see more of the South Plaquemine team that's opened this season 2-0 and not the team that you saw tonight that just couldn't get going. Look, Belle Chasse is good. There's no other way to say it.
I'm going to tell you who's good.
Is good.
I'm going to tell you who's good. Number 91 is good. That cat can play.
Bartholomew, hey, big schools. Guess what? He's got to commit to Texas State right now.
I'm sure that's going to change.
I'm pretty sure. I know Tulane's very interested in him right now, and I'll tell you that so is UL, so is Troy, and we could just go down the list.
Right.
So, folks, he's fun to watch. No matter what you see, when you're watching highlights, watch Savion Bartholomew, and that's something very special to see. Well, that's going to do it, and I think that's going to about wrap it up here for Wade Kaiser. And let's make this official, and we'll do it like we're supposed to do it, folks. We didn't get to everything tonight, but this was a fun game, a little bit of a crazy game for us because it was a little difficult. Beautiful press box, beautiful field here. but it's a little tough to see the field through the windows at night. So we're really looking at the monitor, and we're watching what you're watching. So sometimes we couldn't get the jersey numbers as well as we would have liked to give them to you. But overall, I think we had a fun broadcast, and we hope you enjoyed this game.
And we saw a reversal of a reversal.
Never has
have I seen that.
Never have we seen that before.
Ever.
And the funny part about it is the officials, now remember, they do not have replay. They do not have replay down on the field, but they got it right the first time. Our replay showed it. Oh, Chip and Matt Merritt had it for us, man, and we saw it, and then they got together, talked about it, and reversed it for reasons we don't know. Yeah. So the reversal of a reversal, and we've never seen it, but we saw it for the first time tonight, and that is very special. So 56-0, the final here, and just want to thank everybody for joining us tonight. We will have more exciting coverage for you of high school football for your next Friday night right here on Crescent City Sports. Check our website and social media for updates. For Wade Kaiser and our entire crew, Chip and Matt Merritt, and our Crescent City production team, I'm Ken Berthelot saying good night from Belle Chasse. Once again, the final score, Belle Chasse, the Cardinals pitching their third consecutive shutout. They have now won 61-0, 70-0, and tonight over South Plaquemines, 56-0. That's going to wrap it up here. Thank you, folks. Hope you enjoyed it as much as we did. Good night, everybody.